The COVID restrictions in China do not seem to be going away as we continue to see further clusters of COVID. The other situation too around Europe, we are facing very challenging conditions here still. So it seems as though those two headwinds may remain from here. Do you want to just talk about those two factors?
Yeah, indeed, because in fact underlying trading of the business was pretty good. There was those two incidents. Now, I'm happy to say those were really, it looks like very short-term situations that seem to be already behind us. If you talk about China, we're really referring to the more than 2 months really severe lockdowns in the tier 1 cities like Shanghai. So that basically stopped trading and production to a large extent for a while. That has resumed more to normal within June, and in fact we also see the demand coming back. So yes, there are still spot lockdowns, but those are really minor things that we don't really see reflected in our numbers. So what China is concerned, touch wood, but we do seem to be on the right track. In fact, you announced around slowdown of demand in Europe. That's not exactly what we see. It was actually very much in the beginning in do-it-yourself for deco in Europe that consumers were simply not coming into the stores. It has nothing to do with paint only. It is with adhesives, sealants, garden furniture, etc. So that was actually slower. That actually came back in June. So we're back at 2019 plus levels. So that came back. But then you have the whole channel that starts to destocking, etc. Now that has faded out of the system. So we're pretty confident that after, I would say, 2 road incidents, we're actually back on a normal trading as we were in the first quarter.
Thierry, though, if we take a look at the outlook for Europe, we've got very strong housing markets. It's been like that for a number of months. Reports that it could be cooling, and all this as we also watch what the ECB does in terms of rate hikes. It could be 50 basis points. If that is the case, could you see a slowdown because of the housing market cooling and people just holding back on further upgrades to their properties?
A lot of our decorative paint business in Europe is around renovation, and that seems to have a slightly different sequencing than new housing build. That's more an American phenomena where there's a direct link. But to be fair, I think just like any other company, the clouds are gathering macroeconomically around Europe, and that's also why we announced this Focus 2 initiative. So basically to start looking at our cost, which we build up to some extent to be able to serve our customers, given the very uncertain supply situation that we went through over the last 18 months, and really starting to prepare for scenarios that hopefully will never come to fruition, but not to be naive about what the outlook is for Europe as such as on the economic level.